The maritime sector plays a very crucial role in the actualization of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And that is why on this edition we'll be discussing the various SDG and the contribution of the maritime sector to achieving this SDG in Nigeria. Today, we're talking about SDG 9, talking about industry, innovation, and infrastructure, and how Nimasa has been able to plug into this SDG. My guest is Juliet Braide. She is a senior shift supervisor in the C4I unit of Nimasa. Juliet, you're welcome.
Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Juliet, today we'll be talking about SDGs, and we'll be talking about the various SDGs and how the maritime sector specifically, because every sector has a role to play in actualizing the SDG. But for the purpose of this segment, we are discussing the maritime sector's contribution to SDGs. And now on SDG 9, can you exactly tell us why SDGs?
Okay, so thank you for the question. The SDG goals came about due to a recognition that there is a gap to achieving peace and prosperity for the people and the planet in the now and into the future. So in September 2015, the member states of the United Nations, which Nigeria is a party to, agreed to have a unified blueprint that will help them to achieve this goal of peace and prosperity for the people, the planet, in the now and into the future.
All right, thank you very much. So now coming to our today's segment, SDG 9, infrastructure, innovation, and industry, right?
That's correct.
So now, how has Nimasa been able to, match this particular SDG, to fit into the maritime sector, still in line with the SDGs?
So Nimasa indeed has aligned itself to try to attain these SDGs, and particularly since we're discussing the SDG 9, which is on innovation, industry, and infrastructure. For instance, we have the Lekki Deep Sea Port, which is an infrastructure that is going to help large vessels that normally would not be able to berth in our waterways. But now we are able to take these vessels, and it helps to boost our economy. For innovation, we have the Deep Blue project of Nigeria. So the Deep Blue project utilizes computers, artificial intelligence, and there are assets such as UAVs, air asset that includes aircraft, helicopters that are being used to help fight piracy and maritime insecurity in general in our waterways. So that is one key role that Nimasa is playing in bringing about attainment to the SDG goals. All
right, thank you. So talking about this innovation now, I know Nimasa has this C4I center.
That's
we
correct.
have the GMDSS system, right? Now, how has Nimasa been able to use these tools also, to ensure safety and security in our waterways, still in line with the SDG? Remember, the SDG still, have some sustainability. So whatever Nimasa is doing must, be around sustainable, development. So tell me, what is Nimasa doing?
Thank you very much. So the GMDSS stands for Global Maritime Distress Safety System. And the C4I system stands for the Command, Control, Communications, Computer and Intelligence System. These two are championing safety and security in the maritime sector. And you would agree with me that with a safer and secure water, there are benefits that include things like reduction in the loss of life at sea, reduction in loss of properties and assets, and as well as reduction in economic losses that normally would have existed due to piracy, oil theft, illegal fishing, and other illegalities in our waterways. So you can see that these two major projects of Nimasa are helping to create an enabling business environment in Nigeria, as well as to promote investors, foreign investors coming into the country to help boost our economy. All
right, very good. Very quickly, before I ask you the last question, let me ask you this. Talking about these SDGs now, take a clue at the number of the populace in Nigeria. I think we're over 200 million or thereabouts. Do you think people understand what this SDG is all about?
That's a very good question. I don't have exact figures, but if I'm to walk into any street in Lagos today and ask a number of people what the SDG means, I believe that a good number of them will have no idea what I'm talking about. But at the same time, these persons have an understanding of the basic rules or basic needs that are already embedded in the SDG goals. So, and in fact, they go as far as request for this needs to be met by the government and people in authority. So this goes to tell you that if you want to reach the layman and the rural areas, you need to speak a language that they do understand. So, for instance, you tell them cleaner waters, they would understand cleaner waters because they need cleaner waters. You tell them no hunger, no poverty, they would understand that because those are very key to their needs. So it's more of a terminology thing, but people are very much aware of what the SDG goals are.
Thank you, Juliet. Now, tell us, in a few years from now, you said SDG started in sometimes in September
2015.
December 2015, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and now, I guess another 5 years from now, September maybe 2030, right? This SDG may become obsolete, right? Or would be over, right? Now, what do you think should happen or will happen after these SDGs are gone?
Femi, I believe that the SDG goals would not end. Rather, there will be more of a building block to improved version of goals that will be needed or that will be more appropriate for the current trends or current needs as at that time. You remember that before we had the SDG goals, we have the Millennium Development Goals, right? And a number of those goals have been carried forward into the SDG goal. So it's not a start and stop scenario, it's a more of a continuous process that will continue for a long time.
Dear viewers, we've come to the end of this segment. We've been discussing industry, infrastructure and innovation, SDG 9, and how the maritime industry in Nigeria has been able to contribute to this segment. And then, of course, we heard from our guest. She said it all, that Nimasa, through GMDSS, C4I, and various infrastructure has been able to contribute its own quota to this SDG by making the maritime sector very, very environmental friendly and, of course, bringing in more investors to the economy. It's a wrap on this segment. My name is Femi Kumuyi. I remain your host.